Hello, everyone. I'm Alban, and I'm standing here with Clara, my team colleague, and we're talking about marketing automation today, a topic we've barely been working for a year now. I'm sure every one of you has been into the situation where you applied for a job and you got rejected because you didn't have enough relevant work experience. And you ask yourself, how can I get relevant work experience if I cannot start gaining somewhere this experience? Well, it has been for us in the past for several jobs, but not in this one. Both of us are experienced in performance marketing and have a background in digital marketing. However, neither of us worked in customer experience management or in marketing optimization. Yet we got the chance to join Tamedia's newly built team in the beginning of this year and trying to automate the marketing measures around their subscription business. When we talk about subscription, the whole world is in a subscription boom. While it is for publishers and newspapers a common business model for over a century, it moved on to the internet and telecommunication industry, and nowadays we have several entertainment platforms like Spotify, Netflix, up to B2B companies selling cloud computing or software services on a monthly subscription rate. At Tamedia, 2/3 of the revenue is generated with subscription, showing how important and how sustainable this revenue model will be also for the future, especially in the digital part. And our job is to automate the marketing measures around that business model. How do you do that? How do you build a profitable subscriber base with marketing automation? First thing is you have to increase the user engagement. Make sure that people come back to your website, that they re-engage and consume your content constantly. This can be by reading the news on the desktop, maybe read the e-paper on their tablet, or consuming comfortably the daily news through their smartphone. And our job is to engage those users with relevant content and also attractive offers at the right time, converting a non-paying reader to a subscriber or upselling someone to a better product which fits their needs. And this always to the right user, because we have readers from young to old and also with different interests. Some people like to read more about politics and business. Other people care more about the cultural section or what happened in their local environment. And it's also about the right timing. When do we do these marketing activities? Is it in the morning when people read their daily news? Or do we send out an offer short before Christmas or Easter with a promo because people tend to spend more money then? And which channel do we choose? Is it just email marketing? Is it the push or in-app notification during the app and ads on desktop? Or do we re-engage them through social media? And if we have a look at the whole customer lifecycle, this is where we act on. We have a lot of readers who visit our website and they don't pay for it. They just read the free content. That's the job of our marketing department, to create something creative and make them buy this news product. But as soon as someone registers and creates a login with our platform, he becomes a trial user, and then it's up to our team as marketing automation managers to see how can we make those customers stay and convert them to subscriber, and from a subscriber creating a loyal fan. And if he's a loyal customer, how can we pursue him to feel appreciated and send him and introduce loyalty measures? And through all these phases, we have to communicate the value of our products so that people see on a daily basis that the product they're paying for is great and gives them benefit for their lives. And as soon as we see tendencies that people are engaging less or they don't consume the product enough, also understand the customer. Why do you read less? How can we adapt the product to the others? And so we also have contact with the product team to always provide a good customer experience through all the classical CRM phases. Our playground were the 12 daily newspapers of Tamedia, from Tagesanzeiger in Zurich up to Tribune de Genève in Geneva. And next year, we want to focus also on the verticals and magazines like Finanz und Wirtschaft or Schweizer Familie, and automate their marketing measures too. It's not the two of us who does this, all this work. They're all other team members.
Yes, exactly. So our team grew during the pandemic. So this is how we've seen each other most of the time. We obviously have seen each other in life at the office, but this is how we connect with each other. And what's important to know is also that we are working with a Salesforce Marketing Cloud. So we had the first task to create a journey for users that register on our websites. And we were like, okay, how can we do this? And we thought, okay, 5 emails sounds good. The first one is just a hi and thank you so much for subscribing. The second one is all about COVID, because COVID was the word of the year during the spring when we all set this one up. A third email was about interactive articles. This is a very popular feature on our websites. And then we had 2 offers. One before the ending of the trial period and one afterwards. The concept was there, all good. Now it was time to log into Salesforce Marketing Cloud and do the magic. And we logged in, and this is how it felt, like pitch dark night. So, but then in the end, we got around and were able to build our first concept of our first journey in the Salesforce Marketing Cloud. And you can see how this looks. Here we have marked 3 emails. Good. So we made this one happen in the Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Good. So far, so good. Now we realized we have to do this for 11 other brands. So we started, and we quickly realized that there's a lot of work behind this and a lot of manual work. So if you take this brand, you take this journey of 5 emails, we have for every email we also have a non-opener email, so that if someone is not opening the first email, we send him a second email with a different subject line. And then that for 12 brands, that's leading up to 120 emails, and do that all manually. So in the first email, we're like, okay, we can do this. Copy the first email, exchange the template, exchange the colors, exchange the links. Then we realized, okay, we still have 100 or so to go. And after some time, we realized, okay, this is not an option. And we're also making mistakes with all this manual work. So we introduced a content gun. So now we have to only set up the email once in that external tool that has been only developed for us. And we can switch to the different brands, and then all the manual work that we had to do in the background is now doing the tool. And we can copy-paste the email, put it into Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and that's how it happens. We will also work on having an API call set up so that we don't have to do the copy-paste. OK, so first task solved, let's say it that way. And now we get our emails like this, ready and done. We obviously work a lot with the content from the websites. And every time when there has been a great new article, we needed to include it in our journeys. That meant, again, manual work. So then we heard that the editorial team is working with feeds that is pulling the content directly from the CMS. And we were like, OK, that's really smart. We want that too. So we talked to the PO that set this one up and said, OK, can you do a change for us so that we have this little toggle that you see there that is automating all the content at the time when the email is being sent out to the customer? So great thing there. And what we realized there is that there might be already solutions within your company that you can use and adapt to make your pain a little less. And here we need to give kudos to our colleague Nadia. Thanks, Nadia. Good. So we optimized all the content creation part. But as you can see, there are a lot more elements in one journey. So we thought, OK, how can we tackle, as an example, the opt-ins? This is like every time before we send out an email, we need to check, does the user have an active promo opt-in? Otherwise, we're in big trouble. So this is an element that we're using a lot. You can see them here. And beforehand, we had to go into the data model to our object where we have this opt-in ID, copy-paste this opt-in ID in, and then set done. And now we can just drag an element into the journey, select whether we want to check if the user has an active promo or an editorial opt-in, and then select the brand. So we're way faster. And what we realized there is that there is a lot of customization as possible in the Salesforce Marketing Cloud that we weren't aware in the beginning. So, and this is the beginning of 5 opt-ins, of 5 custom decision splits that we're going to do. And now, regarding the reporting.
Yeah, so there are other learnings we had during this first year. One of them is like the results we gained out of A/B testing. People who work in digital marketing know A/B testing is one of the most successful measures to learn something about the users and to really fast learn how you can communicate things so you make more revenue. 3 of our learnings are shown here. The first one is that with the introduction of an auto opt-in, so everyone who registered on Tamedia's news brands were automatically opt-in on their daily newsletter, which is, for example, for Tages Anzeiger sent in the morning. This had a huge increase in a reader base in these newsletters. And also, those newsletters generate 30% of our subscriptions, which are generated online, which is a great sign also to attribute to our editors, because it is through their content, through the quality content we sell, that they see the value of our product and convert. And with our automation, we distribute this content more efficiently to our end users. Another thing is everyone who reads newspapers online has experienced that you read an article and you're like pretty eager to finish it, and then bam, the paywall comes and you cannot finish it, and you have to pay or maybe create a login, and you don't want to share your email address, but you kind of want to read the article. So what we did is here, we said like you can register and you have 14 days free trial, no commitment on financial payment. And we also were afraid that if we force a user to verify his email address, maybe he loses the interest and just drop off and doesn't finish the article. So he could just like type in his email address and then finishing reading the article and then never verifying his email address, which led us to have a lot of email addresses in our database, which were not real ones and maybe not the ones we really want to attract then for marketing measures. So, and with the verification rate was 50%. It's not so much. So we tried it out with one newspaper, Der Bund in Bern, where we said like, okay, the verification has to be now obligatory. So they had to verify their email address to continue reading the article. And this was a huge success because instead of 50% of the emails, 80% were now verified. And you see that we learned that it is worthy to verify the email address because people continue reading then the news article, and you have better data in your marketing cloud. And the third learning is quite surprising for us and maybe a bit disappointing. It's that usually drive urgency works really well. We know this from Booking.com, for example. You want to book a hotel, it's only 2 rooms left. In 2 hours sold out, and it pretty works. It's a huge success machine. At Tamedia, we communicated like, hey, 40% discount on our yearly offer. It's only valid for 1 week. Didn't show this 1 week, didn't make a difference. People bought it with a 1 week deadline or not, they bought the same amount of subscriptions. So it's something we learned we will not include so much anymore in the future. So the learnings in the testing is like really think about testing scenarios, set an environment which allows you to test, and start small. We had 12 brands, and we always thought like, okay, we do this once, so we have to do it, roll it out for 12 brands, and it doesn't make sense. Start with one, learn from that, and then apply it to others. You will be way more efficient, and small learnings from other brands can be transferred, and maybe you also realize, hey, it worked then for this one, but not for the other brand, and then you can have an overview of what works and not. The third learning, it's all about the data quality and the data model. You know, if you design a customer journey which is automated with emails, like let's say like 10 emails during the next 20 days, and you address it to the whole customer base, this email will be read by hundreds of people, and the anxiety of activating this journey is quite real. And we had situations where there was a typo or something like this, and it's really embarrassing, and then it's like, oh my god, I just spent the whole customer audience. So make sure that your data setup is clean. Because this is how a data model looks like in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. For a marketing person who comes more from the content creation part, well, this might be like, what the heck? For a data scientist, it's maybe peanuts. We are not data scientists, but we have to learn how to deal with data better, because data is the foundation of the marketing of the future. To build a profound business and also address them more personally and build up an understanding is really important. And we were able, despite the fact that this looked really scary to us and the whole infrastructure of Tamedia, we were able to get a deep dive and we learn every day something new. So my message here is just like, don't be scared. Maybe you think you cannot do it, but you will see that you can do a lot if you just try. And there are also like fail moments you will experience, like we did on Easter. So we had this idea of sending out a promo email, giving the people 40% discount on a yearly subscription for everyone who registered 1 month before Easter. Now, what we did is, you said like everybody who registered after March and before April, so you get exactly those people who are in these 2 months. However, in the stress of Thursday evening before the Big Friday, a little mistake happened. Instead of and, we selected or, which means everyone before April and everyone after March. In other words, every single user who hasn't a subscription yet. Well, the next morning I woke up on Big Friday, I checked my emails and saw, oh, I got the promo email myself. That's weird. Entered the Marketing Cloud and saw that the email went to 125,000 people, which scared me off, and I was like, oh God, this will cause now huge chaos. But 4 days later, when we came back to work and started the new week, we realized that we sold 1,600 yearly subscriptions. And you see it in the graph. It's a huge boost for what we sold the other months before with marketing automation. And it resulted with one email a revenue of 170,000 francs with an auto-renewal subscription, which now in 6 months will again reactivate to the full price, which our other colleagues, which will focus more retention, will now act on to make sure that those customers see the value and transfer it to a new subscription year. And my learning, or our learning here, was like, first of all, you learn from mistakes, but this mistake will surely not happen again. However, also that sometimes over-engineered customer experiences are maybe sometimes too much, and that one single send-out can impact your business quite well. So it's always a balance of like, how personalized do you want to get the message, and how wide you want to go with your marketing offers. And the key takeaway we want to give you here is just like, make sure that your data setup is clean and you understand what you're doing, and learn with every day what you do, and take this with you. Clara, you want to show the conclusion?
Yes. So these are the lessons that we had during this year regarding our pain points. So I know we have a unique setup that we have 12 brands that we're working for, 12 different brands, but we realized that there is a lot of automation and customization that can be done. So talk to the people around you. They're very smart. They have great ideas. So you might be able to solve your problems easier and faster. For the reporting, we thought from the beginning on, okay, we have to set up an efficient reporting environment. But it always had been pushed back. Okay, we need to do this journey first and then this. But this is our recommendation to you if you start with marketing automation. Start with an efficient reporting setup early on. Start small, do one brand, and then, as everywhere in digital marketing, learn and apply. And regarding the data, always test before activating, so that you don't have this Easter fail like we did, even though we learned a lot. And it's always about your data. If you check your data, if you check your segment and your journey, then you realize, okay, is my data fine or is it not? And then you can tackle these. So what we want to give away is just do it. Have the right mindset, dive in, and have fun. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alban. Thank you very much, Clara. And we have no question for you today.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
This was the last talk for this morning. Now, starting from now until 1, we have the lunch break, and we will start immediately. We start at 1 with the next talk. Thank you very much for watching us, and have a great lunch.